Friends, we can all see that many white bloggers have millions of followers. Please support me too because my followers are still few. Black bloggers also deserve to be famous. My friends, let's unite and lift each other up. Please press subscribe button and like. Lieutenant Maya Washington sat in the back of the police cruiser, her hands cuffed behind her back, blood trickling from a wound on her temple. The sun was setting over Charleston, casting a golden hue on the asphalt, but all she could feel was the cold metal of the handcuffs biting into her wrists. She had activated Protocol Delta 7, a secret emergency response system she had helped develop for military personnel facing unjust treatment. "Gentlemen," she said, her voice steady despite the chaos around her, "you have exactly 17 minutes to release me." As the officers exchanged confused glances, Maya reflected on how she had arrived at this moment. Just hours earlier, she had been celebrating her promotion after 14 years of dedicated service in the Army, 2 tours in Afghanistan, and numerous accolades. Now, she was being treated like a criminal for simply driving home. The patrol car had pulled her over for no apparent reason. She had been driving within the speed limit, but the officers, Thomas Reynolds and Bradley Cooper, approached her vehicle with hostility. They demanded her identification, dismissing her military ID as insufficient. "Step out of the vehicle, ma'am," Reynolds had ordered, his tone dripping with condescension. "Why?" Maya had asked, maintaining her composure. "I haven't done anything wrong." But arguing only escalated the situation. As she stepped out, she felt the familiar chill of fear creeping in, a reminder of her father's words. "Being black means you don't get the benefit of the doubt." The officers had begun to pat her down, their hands rough and accusatory. "Stop resisting," Reynolds shouted as he slammed her head against the car. "I'm not resisting," she had replied calmly, even as the blood began to trickle down her face. In that moment, she pressed the hidden sequence on her smartwatch, activating Protocol Delta 7. It was designed to alert military authorities and initiate a rapid response to protect service members from unjust treatment. As the minutes ticked by, Maya felt a sense of calm wash over her. She had trained for this. She had prepared for the worst. And now, she was ready to face whatever came next. Within minutes, unmarked SUVs began to arrive, creating a perimeter around the scene. Officers in plain clothes stepped out, their demeanor a stark contrast to the aggressive patrol officers. Maya allowed herself a small smile. They had made a grave mistake. "Officer Reynolds," one of the agents said, his voice steady and authoritative, "you need to keep your hands visible at all times." Maya watched as the officers' expressions shifted from annoyance to confusion. They were realizing the gravity of their actions. "Lieutenant Washington," the agent continued, turning to her, "are you injured?" "Minor laceration to the right temple, sir," she replied, her military training kicking in. As medical personnel arrived, Maya felt a surge of empowerment. This was not just about her. It was about every service member who had faced similar injustices. The aftermath of the incident was swift and far-reaching. The media caught wind of the story, and soon, Maya's face was plastered across news channels. The hashtags #JusticeForMaya and #ProtocolDelta7 began trending, igniting a national conversation about police accountability and systemic racism in law enforcement. Maya found herself thrust into the spotlight, but she remained focused on the mission. She collaborated with federal investigators, sharing her experiences and advocating for change. The Justice Department launched a comprehensive investigation into the Charleston Police Department, uncovering a pattern of discriminatory practices that had persisted for years. As the investigation unfolded, Maya learned that she was not alone. Other victims began to come forward, sharing their stories of harassment and abuse at the hands of law enforcement. The database of incidents that had once served as a shield for corrupt officers became a tool for justice, leading to the exoneration of wrongfully convicted individuals. Months passed, and the landscape of law enforcement in Charleston began to shift. The police chief resigned, and a new leadership team was put in place, committed to reform and accountability. Maya's Protocol Delta 7 was adopted as a standard procedure across military branches, ensuring that service members would have immediate protection in similar situations. 1 year after that fateful day on the roadside, Maya stood at the podium, addressing a joint training session of police recruits and military personnel. "The badge you wear carries both privilege and responsibility," she said, her voice steady and resolute. "Your accountability ensures that protection is real rather than theoretical." As she concluded her speech, the applause echoed through the room, but Maya felt a sense of humility. This was not just her victory, it was a collective triumph for all those who had fought against injustice. Later that day, as she reflected on her journey, Maya received a message from Reynolds' daughter, expressing gratitude for the path her father was trying to forge toward redemption. It was a reminder that change was possible even for those who had once perpetuated the system. But as the investigation continued to unfold, Maya received an unexpected call from Special Agent Rodriguez. "Lieutenant Washington, we need you to come in. We've uncovered something significant." Maya's heart raced as she made her way to the FBI field office. What could they have found? As she entered the conference room, she was met with a team of agents, their expressions serious. "Lieutenant," Rodriguez began, "we've received a tip about a hidden database maintained by certain officers in the Charleston Police Department. It contains records of every questionable stop, every fabricated charge, and every case of excessive force." Maya's breath caught in her throat. This could be the evidence they needed to expose the systemic issues within the department. "Where is it?" she asked, her voice steady. "It's secured on a server that only a select few have access to," Rodriguez explained. "But we believe we can get in. We need your help to navigate the internal politics and ensure we can retrieve this information without alerting those involved." Maya nodded, determination flooding her veins. This was the moment she had been waiting for. The chance to not only seek justice for herself but for all those who had suffered in silence. As they strategized, Maya felt a sense of purpose wash over her. She was ready to confront the system that had wronged her and countless others. But little did she know, the fight ahead would be more dangerous than she could have ever imagined. Just as they were finalizing their plan, a loud crash echoed from the hallway. The door burst open, and a group of officers stormed in, their faces twisted with anger. "You're not going anywhere, Washington," Reynolds shouted, stepping forward, his eyes filled with rage. Maya's heart raced as she realized the gravity of the situation. The officers had come to silence her, to protect their own. But she was no longer the scared lieutenant they had manhandled on the roadside. She was a force to be reckoned with, and she would not back down. "Get behind me!" Rodriguez shouted, pushing Maya to safety as chaos erupted in the room. The agents scrambled to defend themselves, but Maya stood her ground, ready to fight for justice. In that moment, she knew that this was just the beginning. The battle for accountability was far from over, and she was determined to see it through to the end. As the confrontation escalated, Maya felt a surge of adrenaline. She had activated Protocol Delta 7 once, and now it was time to unleash its full power. The fight for justice was about to reach a boiling point, and she was ready to lead the charge. But just as she prepared to take action, the lights flickered, and the room plunged into darkness. The sound of chaos echoed around her, and she knew that the stakes had just been raised. What would happen next? Would she be able to expose the truth, or would the system once again try to silence her? The answer lay just beyond the shadows, waiting to be revealed. Do you want to know the fate of the heroes? Please post part 2. Subscribe to the channel and continue watching. Your opinion and support are important to me. Leave it in the comments. Thank you.